Welcome to Milestone Moments, the show where we explore the journeys that lead to success. I'm Sheila Slick, your host and founder of 5 Milestones. In every episode, we will bring you insights from the minds of entrepreneurs, leaders, and experts who will share not just their expertise, but the milestone moments that have reshaped their journeys and led to significant achievements. So if you're looking for motivation, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and discover the milestones that mark the path to success. Welcome to another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership. I'm Sheila Slick, your host, and today my special guest is Migena Agaraj. She is CEO and founder of Eagles MA LLC. She's a global focus connector, a business matcher, author, certified business advisor, and speaker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Sheila. So good to see you.
Can you share a pivotal moment that led you to where you are today?
Oh, yes. So I was born and raised in Albania and moved to New York City 21 years ago. In 2021, I attended a real estate summit in Florida. And there, I met with a lot of business owners, learned a lot about how to invest in real estate, learned a lot of the terminology. And in this 3-day conference, I'm going back and analyzing and measuring all my accomplishments to date. And I was not happy with the answers. Because one thing I've always been good at is being honest with myself. I never lie to myself. And I always say that's criminal, because when you lie to yourself and nobody knows about it, that's a recipe for disaster. So I start looking back at all these different accomplishments, and not that I wanted to take away from them, but if every single thing was taken away from me, what was I left with? If I was to get fired, let go from a job, if I were to start all over again, how would I start? And if there's no paycheck coming in, would I still have a roof or not? So I decided how important it was for me to give myself permission to move to the next level of being this grown-up woman now and take charge and take life versus life taking me. So that real estate conference really was that moment where I had a lot of disappointments, but at the same time, I knew that I was in the right room because of all of the success stories from all of these business owners, investors. And I wasn't that. I did not have a business under my name. I did not have a single real estate investment. If I were to quit my job or get fired from a job, I would have no paycheck the next day, and I could not live passively because my money was not working for me. So I realized I was doing everything wrong almost. I know I'm being so hard on myself, but literally I said, if things are going to change, I have to make them happen. So during that conference, I pretty much resigned. I gave my 2 weeks notice. It was the end of December 2021. So come January 2022, it was the first day for the rest of my life as a clueless entrepreneur. I'm like, I don't know what this looks like. I have no idea what we're doing, but guess what? We are going to try, and we're going to find out one day at a time. So that was a moment for me where I decided to start fresh. Not necessarily start from experience, because I wasn't an entrepreneur before. I always worked for a company, but there was one way to find out. So that was the spark that pretty much got me to give Migena a shot at being a business owner, and so many more things that I did not know, because that's very true when people say you don't know what you don't know until you try. And when you think that you're quitting and you're going to be an entrepreneur, think again. think again, because so much more is going to happen for you. So for the listener, I am not recommending that you all quit your W-2s, but I truly and highly recommend that you get a piece of paper and start self-assessing your accomplishment to date. And if there is anything there that you don't like, that you can do more of, be more of, listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice, and take action on it, because you'd be surprised. So that's what did it for me, Sheila, that self-measurement of what was I doing for 19 years. So yeah.
Well, and that was only your beginning, because you have a lot of different roles going on. You've accomplished a lot more than being an entrepreneur. So how do you balance these diverse roles, and what common thread ties them all together?
The common thread is a passion. If you don't have passion for life, for love, for people, nothing will ever be tied together. Like, there is no glue that can hold all of these pieces together. There is so much that just a desire can do for things to happen. You need to have the passion, and you always go back to that point of a reminder, where, why is it that I do this? Because sometimes, including me, we question and we are in the self-doubt. Wait, am I doing the right thing? Why is it that I'm doing this? But when it comes back to, well, I nominated hundreds of women to be in book collaborations to share their stories. I've been a part of their lives changing and their families' joy. They get to talk at tables. They get to have their families back home, hear these women read their own journeys, and somehow it comes back to point zero, which is Migena knocking on their virtual door saying, hey, I've been part of this initiative. So should you, because it changed my life, and I believe it will change yours. With me being in my world, being in my network, you don't ever have to wonder, how is it to be in a book? I can only imagine. No, with me, you don't need to imagine, because I will tell you exactly how I got there. And now you decide if you want to be a part of it or not. So how everything ties together, it's the passion for people and the reward of changing people's lives, and not just their lives, but the lives of so many, because we are inspiring people one person at a time. And as far as managing all the different roles or switching hats, it's a matter of what's urgent, what's priority, because I could be the admin of my company every Friday, but sometimes I am traveling on a Friday and I wear on the CEO hat and I'm handling all the meetings. So there is no formula for being the best manager out there and having that work-life balance, because when you are in this world of loving what you're doing, it's never work. It's just 100% fun. And that's why I don't seek balance, and I don't want balance, because balance scares me. Balance for me, it's very like structured, and it removes that element of surprise that I don't welcome in my life, because I'm all about, wow, I look forward to getting to know myself better every day through the experiences of being on Sheila's podcast, or being on Chatter, or writing another chapter in another book. So it's like I said, it's a matter of what's pressing today. And if we need to put together the 27 chapters because the publisher has a deadline, that's going to take priority, because we have deadlines to meet, and everything else comes secondary. And some days I work 16-hour days. I am on 10 Zooms, 15 Zooms. I live on Zooms. And there are days where I am not on Zoom at all. And all I do is do paperwork, the behind the scenes. And I'm sure many entrepreneurs out there can relate. And I'm also learning how to manage time better. But as far as work-life balance, there's no such thing, because it's not work for me. It's all passions and goals and visions and missions. And whatever it's needed today, we're going to handle today. And whatever can wait until tomorrow, we're going to handle that tomorrow. So we don't skip sleep, so we can eat and have time for our friends, have time to be on podcasts and enrich many lives as a result. So yeah, that's how I operate. Maybe it's the wrong thing, but it's my truth.
Well, and you prioritize. So you've got your own system working for you.
Yes.
In order for me to get the podcast going, I did a time block because I saw a lot of people using time blocks, and that actually worked for me to make sure that I was consistent with the structure. And now I'm incorporating that a bit more. And you've just inspired me. I'm on the journey of writing a book, my story, and trying to find my voice to see, how I'm going to frame it or how I can help others sharing it. And today you've helped me reassure that I just need to maybe do my own time block and make sure I get that out.
Happy to help if you need help, because I'm working on book number 6, collaboration. So I learned a few what not to do things in the process. I can save you a lot of time.
Yes, that would be so appreciated. I'm going to take you up on your offer. Can you share a recent venture or a project that excites you?
Oh my God. I have a magazine. I'm going to go grab it and be right back. So I've always wanted to participate in a Miss Albania beauty pageant. When growing up, I would look up these beautiful women on stages walking the runway, and I am like imagining these things. And of course, I was super young when I left my country. Then I moved to the Bronx, working 3 jobs with no time for making my dreams come true. So as a result, a lot of my dreams, as I call them, were like placed in this shelf of dreams, and I were, collecting dust over the years. And when I decided to work with people versus a company, it brought with that a lot of flexibility and independence. And it made me go forward with a lot of these dreams. So I started opening those, imaginary shelf, I call them, but all of the dreams that I wanted to accomplish. So I can thank my parents and my brother and my ancestors for their sacrifices through me achieving some of the dreams. So they don't feel guilty for bringing us here and wondering if, as parents, they did the right move. Perhaps life would have been a lot better in Albania or not, something that we will never know. So in order for me to say thank you, I'm grateful and I appreciate you, I'm going to go and make my dreams come true, because I believe, I'm not a parent yet, but I believe there's nothing more beautiful for a parent as a gift from their children when they go and accomplish their own dreams. So then the parents feel that they've done something right? And of course, that parent guilt never goes away. And because I couldn't be Miss Albania, I said, why not participate in a Miss New York USA pageant? What's the worst that can happen? And literally 2 days ago, I was in Albany and I participated in the Miss New York USA beauty pageant with 170 women. I did not tell my parents. I did not tell my brother. I kept it a secret from everybody for 3 months. I was accepted in March. My parents traveled to Albania, and here I am working in secret to buy the gown and everything else that was needed to participate in the beauty pageant. Ended up in Albany a day before they traveled from Albania. Pretty much told them I have extra tickets. I'm working the red carpet at Miss Universe because I am on TV. So it was very easy to come up with that justification. To which they're like, what are we going to do there? Watch a bunch of ladies walk on the runway? Like, no. And I'm like, please, it's very important to me. Long story short, on Sunday, my parents end up in Albany. And next thing you know, I'm telling my parents and my brother, I'll meet you guys later. Right now, I'm working in the back, helping the girls, so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, I am number 3 on the lineup. So my parents and my brothers see me walk the runway as one of the participants. Of course, they're in tears. And that was my goal. My goal was not to post it all over social media so I can win the People's Choice. It wasn't for that. My goal was, I wanted to surprise my parents, to say thank you to them, and to make sure they know how much I love them and appreciate them. And none of this would be possible without their sacrifices, leaving everything behind so we could have a better life. And because that's been a dream of mine forever, I said, I am the only one who can make this dream come true. So I need to take action because of them, if not because of me. So here I am now in the magazine, number 3, you can see this here. And I get to check off another dream. And that excites me so much because when that person hears this story, then they get to say, you know what? Regardless how old you are, how you look, how tall you are, those restrictions no longer apply. There's so much diversity. There's so much inclusion. There is so much excitement and the different beauties coming together, and you network with these women. So I want to encourage all the listeners that if there is a dream out there that is within reach, that is realistic, you can make it happen. You have to work hard. You have to show up. Regardless how you feel, you have to show up, because on the other side, you are going to be so happy that you did. And then you can inspire others and others. So I did it for the inspiration aspect, and to thank my family for giving so much to me that I could never, of course, give back to them. But every day I'm trying to do the best I can. So this is my most exciting project that I've been waiting a lifetime. So I mean, I can talk forever about this, but it was so much fun. So much fun. Anyways.
Well, I'm glad you got to accomplish that. And
it was not easy, I promise you, but I got it done. And apologies for interrupting. I just want to show that picture.
You're very beautiful. Congratulations too, though, because it did get you out of your comfort zone and it made you reach another milestone and goal. So that's huge.
Thank
And
you.
speaking of milestones and goals, what is your next milestone?
I am pretty much taking it one day at a time. I am never been the person that when was asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 1 year, in 10 years? That question terrified me. So as far as milestones, currently I'm working on the 3rd volume of Real Women in Real Estate, where this is going to be our final of the trilogy of women from all walks of life, from all over the world, sharing their real estate journey, so we can inspire the readers so they can start in their real estate journey and eventually live passively and not depend on a W-2 alone, so they can start building that legacy wealth for themselves and their families. So I would say, as far as plans, it's pretty much to connect with as many people as possible, to match as many businesses as possible, because as a business matchmaker, nothing makes me happier than to be that glue that puts the two parties together and hold them together so they can have the best services and have a beautiful experience and have successful businesses that continue to scale. And for me to be a part of that, I would say that why not, help hundreds and hundreds of businesses through my connections, through my relationships, through my leadership skills, management skills, and people skills, to make life a lot easier for the business owners who are busy handling so many other things. And I want to leave the relationship aspect to me, because having a strong power base and building a strong reputation for 2 decades living in this country, I feel like I am that person that take people on the elevator to that level they need to be, versus them taking the stairs. Like, there's no need for people to take stairs to go to the 2nd or 3rd floor if they only need to go to the 5th floor and skip the other 3. And that way I can say, yeah, come with me. Let's go into the elevator and let's meet the people you need to meet. Because guess what? I've done the work for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years. So now I'm going to secure you that seat at the table, that voice in the room, versus you working for 5-10 years in order for you to get in front of the right people that are the decision makers, so you can have a successful business, and vice versa. So as milestone is to help a lot of business owners with their needs, help as many investors get into our TV show, and so much more. But like I said, it's not necessarily the planning of it, is the element of surprise that life brings us on a daily basis, and just, of course, having very low expectations or no expectations and high standards, because with no expectations, there's, guess what, zero disappointment. So I can continue to move forward while keeping my standards up here and to take care of everyone in my network, and of course expand on my network as well, because I am looking forward to meeting so many more amazing human beings so I can work with, collaborate with, and create magic together. So yeah, that's in the plans.
So how can the audience connect with you?
Yes, I am very active on major social medias: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So it's very simple. My handle is Migena NYC. It's very easy to find me. So Migena NYC. Hopefully I have inspired someone today to go after your dreams, because you are the only one, for the most part, who can make them come true. It starts with you.
And so my last question is, can you share one key piece of advice to successfully connect with more businesses and professionals in today's market?
Absolutely. Always ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, you are leaving a lot of opportunities at the table. My website is Ask Migena. My podcast is Ask Migena Show. And I cannot stress enough the importance of the word ask. Ask questions. Be curious. If you don't know something, ask. So I feel like a lot of the reasons why I have accomplished a lot in such a short period of time is because I have asked a lot of questions, and I have surrounded myself with a lot of who's in my life who add the answers. So don't focus so much on the what, focus on the who, and ask all of them, because everybody is an expert at something that could accelerate your journey, can make your dreams come true, can give you a different vision that you didn't even see that you had, or point out something about you that you didn't even know that you brought to the table. And unless you ask, for example, ask Sheila, I love your podcast. How can I be a guest on your podcast? What it is that I can bring? Can we talk? Boom, you just ask and you open the door. And Sheila could say absolutely yes, or Sheila could say, you know what? Your story doesn't necessarily align with my audience, but I know 5 other podcasters would love to have you a guest. So you ended up now with 5 different opportunities only because you asked. And then Sheila or myself would appreciate it, because we love actually pouring back into the people that take action in themselves and ask for themselves. Because when you ask for you, you truly are asking for your entire community. Because once you're out there, game on. You're exposed, people know you, and you never know who is going to listen to you, and you never know who is going to invite you into their book, into their podcast, into their business opportunity, real estate opportunity, partnership. You can end up in boards, you can be non-for-profits, and the list goes on and on and on. The opportunities are endless, and it starts with a very simple task called ask. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just ask.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us on another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership.